So as you know, Christmas is a feast, a mass celebrating Christ, our Savior, who is born, and He can be your Savior as well. He came to the earth to die to help everyone, really. It's not just for Christians. So that's why everyone celebrates Christmas, no matter your faith. Everyone at least gets a holiday. Everyone gets to enjoy a feast. So I'm preparing one for my family. This is pepper soup. So I'm going traditional today. I'm going to make a Nigerian Christmas. And Nigerian Christmas, when we kill the goats at home in the village, the offals, the meat will be used to prepare this spicy sauce. So you've seen me cook a spicy meat sauce before, but this is a richer version. And then we'll add in yam. So as I go along, I'll be showing you little snippets so that the video is not too long and you get some idea. So this one here are offals. We call it shaki. That's tripe, part of the intestine. And then we also have some chicken gizzard as well. Let's see which one is gizzard now. Oh, there it is. That's chicken gizzard. And then we have the kidney. That's the kidney, the animal kidney. And we just let it all cook together. In terms of spices, in case you're wondering what do I use for spice, well, I've always used thyme since I was 10. I've been cooking since I was 10. So thyme is what I use. And then also salt, of course. Meat loves salt, as you know. Without salt. This is a new salt I was given. I'm going to try this one. I've been told that this is the salt above all salt. We'll find out. And what else am I going to use? I have my jumbo as well. This is like, seasoning cubes. I have Old Bay, and that's my spice cupboard really. I've got a couple of stuff up there. And I'll be using them. As I use them, I will show you, okay? So stay tuned. We're cooking for Christmas with Dr. Nani. So I'm adding in some Scotch bonnet. I already put some in before, but because I've increased the amount of meat, I'm adding in some. And you might be asking, Dr. Nani, how do I know how much to add? Well, traditional Nigerian cooking is not usually measured. We usually just guesstimate because we've learned by watching our moms and aunts and grandmothers cook. But what I would say is Scotch bonnets are very spicy. So if you don't like spice, just half a Scotch bonnet. So that's a whole Scotch bonnet here. You use a half or quarter. But for this amount of meat, and you can see how big the pot is, right? You can see how big it is. I would say I've used about 2 onions. So 2 of this size. And I've used a whole Scotch bonnet like that. So I put some in earlier. As I'm adding in more meat, I'm adding in so it's now fresher, right? I just let it cook so it's soft. So when you eat it, it just sort of almost melts in your mouth. Not that you want it to melt, but that kind of softness is what you're aiming for. All right. And on this side of my hob, I have my tomato paste. I'm going to also prepare jollof rice. I'm sure everybody knows jollof rice by now. It's Nigerian party rice. So it's actually a one pot dish where you cook rice, whole grain rice in a tomato sauce. So that's the sauce has been prepared. It's been blended already. The tomatoes in there. We have the same onions, the same pepper. You make that into a paste. And you can add in a can of pureed tomatoes. So just tomato paste I'll add as well. Let me get to that guy. I can just show that to you. So tomato paste, I'm going to add that in. If you want me to feature your brands on my cooking, you know what to do. So we're just going to add that paste in there. We add in a little bit of oil. I'm going to fry it. You fry the paste and then you add it to the rice. So we'll show you step by step. So tomato paste going in. You can see I've added about 2 cooking spoons of oil. This is just vegetable oil, olive oil, coconut oil, whatever you fancy, right? And then that's frying away. I'm going to add in the tomato paste. Then I'll add in my spices. And I got a cook this Christmas. See what I found in the shops. I found potted basil. I'm so pleased. So I'm going to have some fresh herbs. Normally I just cook with dry herbs. I'm not a foodie to some degree, like other people that go for fresh stuff. I'm very busy at work, as you know, so I usually have just things in my cupboard, but I'm really happy to have fresh herbs for Christmas. Of course, no Christmas dinner is complete without a showstopper. So this year we're going with turkey, and it has been seasoned overnight. You can see the sauces, a combination of all those spices I mentioned earlier, stuffed from within. If you don't know how to do a turkey, so there's normally when they prepare it, there's an opening here, and you can put the spices through there. Wear your gloves, it's really if you use pepper. And then you go in as well through here as well. And then it was coated overnight with some foil wrapping. I've set the oven. It's important to follow the instructions. So this is the instructions here. It says fan oven. Can you see? You have to weigh your turkey and then follow the instructions on the temperature and the cooking length of time. For this one's going to be over 4 hours. Just 225 I'm guesstimating for mine, and that is it. I've set it to fan 160. I put the oven on to heat up a little bit, and then I can feel the heat coming through, and I've made space for my big birds to fit in. The pepper soup, which is going to be our Christmas breakfast, because we're doing a Nigerian style Christmas today, like I told you. So the meat has to be cut up into small portions, so that they fit nicely in your mouth, and you can just eat them a little bits, and children can eat them as well. This is the chopping. This is actually a lot of work, because every single piece now has to be cut into small sizes. You can see the sizes if you just zoom in a little bit. See how small the sizes are. Yeah. So that's the tripe, and then I'll do the same with the gizzard as well. Just cut them into small pieces. The kidney as well. I just go to the pot, take out another piece there, and then chop. And then I'll show you when I add in the pepper soup spices that gives that special flavor. I've chopped the meat into small pieces. I'm now getting my spices ready. Yeah, uziza bunka. That's the same kind of bitter leaf, and then kabuda. So I'm speaking the native language. And kabuji, yam. So I'm gonna cut up the yam. You get uziza nauda. I'll grind them. No, this one will be ground, right? Because you can see what it looks like. Na pepper soup. And then ntinyeji. I get jimmy oko. Jimmy oko I get you baby Christmas. The yam skin peeled off, and that's the yam. Nice and white and fluffy. I'm just going to wash it and add it to the pepper soup. So I'm adding the oda to the blender. I'm going to blend it now. The tomato sauce is still boiling away. It takes a long time because you don't want it to have a raw taste. And then I have my yam in the pepper soup, and now I'm adding in the spices. Now pepper soup is quite versatile in terms of what you add in it. So this is my ground. I want to add just a little bit and then taste and see. I don't want it to be too strong. People add fish as well, but I have people that don't like fish, so they're going to be eating. So I'm not going to add any crayfish, and I'm going to add in this vegetable at the end. It's coming to an end. I did add some dried shrimps or crayfish, but I didn't add like fresh fish or smoked fish. So I changed my mind at the end. I thought a bit of crayfish was necessary. And then I'm adding the uziza at the end. So it's going to give it that bitter sort of taste. It's just home. This reminds me of Christmas with my dad, who is now of blessed memory. Happy Christmas, Daddy, wherever you are. So this is Christmas breakfast. I'll be back for Christmas lunch. Just keeping an eye on the turkey, making sure there's enough water, it doesn't get burnt. So I said it's going to take a few hours to roast such a big bird, so just leave that there. We'll add the potatoes in later. So my Canadian sisters, they bake their jollof rice and it tastes amazing. So I'm going to try that today. I'm going to wash the rice. This is just plain American grain, long grain rice. And then I'm going to bake it in the oven. So I'll tell you how that came about. So I've rinsed a couple of times. The water is, quite clear now. So I think we're ready to go. We're just going to Drain off the excess water. Have this in a baking dish. Move it here, and I'm going to add some of that paste, that tomato paste I was making earlier. So that just goes in there, and that's just going to bake. So this is Canadian style. So I'm back from church now, so I'm making lunch, the actual Christmas lunch, and I'm giving it a flavor. We had a Nigerian breakfast and Nigerian jollof rice, and then cooked the Canadian way, apparently, to bake jollof rice. This is gonna be a first. So if it turns out right, I'll be giving credit to my sisters who recommended this, my Canadian sisters. I don't think that salt is enough. That's spicy salt. I'm going to add in my seasoning. I have the taste of the paste. Doesn't taste quite as nice. I'm just sprinkling the seasoning there. It's quite hard to video with one hand. I need an assistant. Assistants apply to have an accompaniment to my jollof rice. You can see, just using the chopping board alongside. So this is plantain. So for those of you who've been asking me to show a video on plantain, I should have shown it to you what it looks like. Actually, I'll get you one. So that's a plantain. This is a raw one, and then this one is a bit green. The green is not ripe. Yellow is ripe. So these are the yellow ones. I'm cutting them up and I'm going to fry them, deep fry. The carrots are part of my veg. So we marinated the potatoes in this dish here and added some salt and black pepper and oil. So now it's getting browned before it will be put into the oven to bake. Potatoes are now browning, and then we're going to add the sauce later. So adding some butter to make it fluffy. Some thyme as well. You see the even spread. Now here comes the thyme. So just lightly shaking until each of them gets a little bit. Non-stick frying pan. And on that side, we're frying some plantain as well. So a lot going on. We'll be back. So here comes the chicken stock, which was made specially for this dish. And we're going to put it all in the pan and let it bake for half an hour. Jollof rice that was baking, I brought it out. So the good thing is that because it's baking, it doesn't get burnt, but it's still quite hard. So I'm adding in some more water and some broth as well, some stock. Yeah, so of course it won't be Christmas without some kitchen mishap. So we went to church and came back, and my gravy was missing, gone into somebody's tummy along with the meat. So I was stuffed, but anyway, I have someone that saved Christmas, and now we have to make more gravy. So I'm adding some parsley to this one. Hopefully it doesn't get stolen by somebody else. And we can have that with our fondant potatoes. So you needed saving for Christmas 3 times. Who would have thought I needed a Christmas savior, eh? So finally, we got jollof rice, we got the turkey, we got plantain, we got fondant potatoes, we got pepper soup for starters, and I didn't have breakfast earlier. And then we got some dessert with puff puff, which is an Oreo puff puff, which is a delicacy for Nigeria. So I've managed to combine my cultures to have the jollof rice and the pepper soup and the puff puff and the plantain. And then the English side of me has the fondant potatoes and the roast dinner, and of course we have some non-alcoholic wine, and we have our gravy. So that's Christmas 2025, Dr. Noni and family. Merry Christmas from our house to yours. Thank you.